What's up YouTube? I'm just another guy and welcome to my Parts of the Premier League here with Billericay Town FC. So we're now approaching the end of the season. We're currently on game 30 out of 38. So of course, we're pretty much finding out where we're going to finish this season. Before we jump into the league table, we're going to go into transfers because although we brought no one else in, we let a couple of people go. Main ones to point out are Tom McCracken, sorry, not McCraddock. Signed him as a left back. He was our first, real expensive signing getting into the Premier League. 4.4 million was spent on him as our first choice left back. Although pretty much as soon as I signed him, I regretted it from that moment on, and I've regretted it from that season onwards because I've then found a better left back. Okay, for a bit more money, but I found a better left back. And then the following year, I then found another better left back who was younger, had more potential than him. So his first team chances just really faded. And I've ended up selling him. I've been trying to sell him and I got 900k. It was the best I could really get for him, which is really disappointing to me. But he's 29 now, of course. He's reaching the latter stage of his career. His stats are going down. So in the end, he's gone to Coventry, a team he's been to before. Didn't do great for them in the Premier League, but he stepped down the level to the Championship, although Coventry are a team that sort of yo-yo up and down through the divisions in recent years. As you see, they've been relegated twice and promoted twice out of the past 5 seasons. So, I'd expect to see him back in the Premier League, but really disappointed with the signing originally. And so 900k, disappointed with the amount of money we could pick up, but really, it was a realistic fee for the player that he is. He's not great, and he's knocking on with age. Loaned out David Mazas. I decided I wanted to get him out first team football. He turned 18. So, at that age, I felt, it's best to get first team football. I'm not sure how many people know this, but your training facilities and your youth facilities, you can upgrade them to the max that you want, but your players don't develop until they get game time. So if without game time, whether that, is first team or whatever, if they're not playing first team football, we could have the best training facilities in the world, but they will not be able to reach their current potential because your training facilities only allow you to choose how the potential they have is sort of divided out into different areas. So really, without first team football, your players won't develop, and so Mazas decided it was best to go out on loan. He's gone to Brighton of the Championship. Currently, he hasn't played, but at least he's got more of a chance of featuring in the first team, considering he's our third choice right back, of course, out of the FA Cup, so chances are very, very limited. Loaned out Hidik just to get first team football yet again, and we loaned out Mihaly Bakos, the right attacker mid. We signed 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, he made 20 appearances his first season. This year, very limited to appearances. So he spoke out, said, "I wanna get first team football." So I did try to sell him. In the end, the loan deal from Huddersfield was the best I could offer. They're paying some money to us monthly, so that was decent enough. But Bakos isn't a bad player. He's not amazing, but he's not a bad player in any stretch of imagination. I mean, I wouldn't mind having him in the side as a backup option, but he's not happy with that. He wants to play first team football, so, I'll expect him to leave next season. If I can anyway. But for now, he's out on loan. So that was the only other transfer news to go with. It was just the ouch since we made our transfers really early, but actually before the transfer market, so I didn't have to worry about it come January, and we could just focus on the league. So, of course, last time we met, we were at game 20, so we've actually played 10 games instead of the normal 9 that I like to play after the January. So, where do we currently sit in the league table? I did say that I'd love to be 4th, and that's where we currently sit. We sit in the 4th place with, how many points? 8 points clear of Arsenal, despite the fact we've played 2 games more than them. Even if they win that, we still sit clear by 2 points. So, overall, we are in an amazing position right now to get Champions League football next season. 16 wins, 7 draws, and 7 defeats. Overall, your teams above us seem to have a little bit of an advantage on us still. They've lost a lot less games in comparison to us, but still, 3rd place, 2nd place are still a possibility for us. Or maybe not 2nd place, maybe that's being a bit too optimistic, but 3rd place is definitely still a possibility. But overall, I like the fact that we've got Champions League football firmly in our hands. It's up to us now if we want it or not. If we slip up, it's only our fault that we lose it. Before, in past seasons, we've had to really hope that Arsenal slip up just for us to get the chance, but now we're the ones with the upper hands. We're the ones that decide our own fate. I'm really chuffed with that. So we'll go into the fixtures. We'll just jump straight into that, and we'll go into other stuff. Clicked on the wrong thing. So last time you saw me was we lost to Scunthorpe. Really disappointed to be knocked out of the cup, but again, moved on swiftly, and obviously it seems to have paid off as we've not got any other distractions apart from the league now. You know, we can focus purely on that. After the Scunny game, we lost to Liverpool. Still, Anfield is a tough place to go. You know, 2 seasons in a row now, we've beaten them in the first game of the season. But still, Anfield, to me, is a difficult place to go to, a difficult place to come away with points. Ivo Radotic is the top goal scorer in the league, and he scored the first goal. Look at his goal scoring record for Croatia. Wow. 93 appearances, 92 goals. It'd be difficult to find anyone to really match that. An amazing, amazing player for Liverpool. And overall, you know, just played very well. But we look at the team, you know, look at the players that we fielded. The fact that Salah had to come on, you know, he's not exactly my first choice left back. So that sort of reflects that, you know, maybe the side's a bit tired. And rotations are definitely coming in. I mean, looking at the bench, Kevin Guetti's there. Obviously, I'm trying to rest up as many players as I can, trying to keep them fit for games that we can definitely walk away with points from, and that is not one with Liverpool. After that, we beat Norwich 4-1, a very healthy win. You know, a very comfortable win indeed. And that's what we want to see. You know, we just lost to Scunthorpe, we've just lost to Liverpool. We definitely need a morale boosting result, and this is what this one was. You know, we really showed Norwich that we have very clinical strikers in the side. Yet again, I need to sort this out. Very clinical strikers in the side. As Karaman picked up a double quite late in the game as well. You know, maybe tiredness affected Norwich at this stage, and Karaman was able to latch onto that and really show the weakness in their team. But overall, you know, a very good attacking display from the side. You know, 19 shots in comparison to their 11. It showed that going forward, we possessed a lot of talent, and you know, we threatened them a lot. We'll have a look at the first goal. We'll have a look at Tomislav's Botica, goal 15 minutes into the game, giving us an early lead. Of course, they didn't equalise, but a minute later, Cass Peters gave us back the lead, and it was pretty comfortable from then on. As I say, Andre Karaman, 2 relatively late goals just made it look a lot comfortable. You know, it really showed that we were dominating in this game. As you see, a defensive mistake, Glover comes out, can't reach the ball, and Botica gets a very simple tap in. After that, 0-0 draw with Fulham followed at home. Disappointed. Fulham are struggling in the relegation zone, so really we should walk away with this game with all 3 points with ease. And if you look at the match stats, you know, it shows that really that should have been reflected on the scoreline. We dominated the game, we controlled possession, we had a lot of shots. They never really threatened our goal apart from 1 shot on target. And in the end of the day, we just couldn't find the back of the net. Andre Karaman had a very rare poor game. Their defence, I take my hat off to them. They're defensively very solid. You know, we got 7 shots on target, but it weren't like there are many clear-cut opportunities. We really had to work hard just to get the shots away. So, end of the day, you know, Fulham fighting for their lives, trying to stay up, putting a very valiant display here against us. Again, following that, disappointing to draw 2-2 to Hull. You know, a team, again, we could beat. The match stats suggest that we should have thumped them quite heavily, or at least, you know, picked up a goal against them. But nope, they defended very well. I take my hat off to them. You know, they showed that if we want to score against them, we're going to have to work hard. This time, you know, our team played better than they did against Fulham. Rating-wise, I mean, statistically, you know, we had better chances against Fulham. We had more chances against Fulham, more possession. But still, 2 home games in a row against 2 teams, I should say we pick up 3 points in each of the games, but walk away with only 1. There's definitely 4 points dropped in these 2 games. After that, we faced West Ham. Now, West Ham are a difficult team, and especially going to Upton Park. Well, not Upton Park anymore, the Boland Ground. Well, have they moved stadium? I completely have not paid attention. Facilities. Yeah, they've switched ground, 35,000, 16 all-seater stadium. It says year built. Are they currently building a stadium? I must be missing something. Because it says it's built in 1912, and clearly they'd be in Upton Park. I don't know. I don't really care either. So, anyway, moving on. So still going to West Ham away. You know, it's going to be a difficult time for us, and we'll come away with 2-0 victory. Great result, great scoreline. You know, had to perform well, and we did. Luis Alberto Shakuro picking up a goal from a set piece, and then Alan Brooks getting a second, really just cushioning us as we approached half time. And from that point on, again, it was just an easy game. We could sit back, just soak up the pressure that we wanted to from West Ham. We allowed them to have the ball, allowed them to control the possession. As long as they weren't getting any, chances that were going to really threaten us, we were happy. And that's what happened for the rest of the game. Look at that defensive mistake, costing them the second goal. And I think that really put the nail in the coffin, because 1-0, you always got that chance of coming back. You've got that chance of nicking a point. But when you concede that second, you leave, it's very hard to come back from that and pick up a point. After that, we've got another disappointing draw. I know Wolves can be a difficult place, especially Molineux is a hard place for me anyway to go to and find and pick up 3 points. But again, Wolves are a team I really want to be picking up 3 points against. And especially when we take the lead in the 7th minute with Cass Peters, I would expect us to hold out, if not add to that goals that we scored, because it's proven that we can already get past the defence and get and find the back of the net against them. But they picked up the equaliser in the 35th minute and they held out as well to the end of the game. Pretty evenly fought match. I mean, the draw probably suited how we both played and both pretty much matched each other. But still, Wolves going into the game are a team I'd want to beat. And comes an amazing result. This is a really, really important result. And 2 youngsters really stepping up for us and earning us the points here. So Manchester United are still a team that, extremely hard to beat. But we don't have any other distractions. Of course, they're going to have a few players that are going to be tired playing in midweek games and etc., and things like that. So for us, coming into the game, I was confident we could pick up at least something. But as confident as I always am, that I've got that slight glimmer of hope. But I'm not to the point of confidence where I go, oh yeah, we're going to walk away with all 3 points here. We've got the squad now, we've got the team that can do that. No, I know that we're going to have to work extremely hard and be quite fortunate to pick up all 3 points. And this is what happened today. The game, really didn't start off for us anyway. I mean, for United, despite their dominating possession with 61% of it, they didn't really get, how many shots they should have out. We got 6 shots with 39% possession. Obviously, it showed that we were using the counter-attack very well. And at the end of the day, I think that just showed that the counter-attack does work against the big teams no matter how much you try. Well, have a look at all these goals here, considering, it's United. It's a game that we had no right of walking away with a 1 point, let alone all 3 points from. So Luis Alberto Shakura got the scoring underway in the 67th minute. Of course, it's going to be a corner. Set pieces are the only way they're going to score. And you see the near post working for us beautifully there. But then Seth Robinson got the equaliser in the 81st minute. And for me, this was gutting because really, you concede that late on, you're only asking that you're going to come away with a draw. And look at that, already blocking the shot from Cressing over there, and an equally thumping hard drive, finding the near post and going to equalise. Like I say, 9 minutes remaining in normal time, plus whatever injury time is going to be added on. I felt that a draw would be lucky to walk away with that at this point, because of course momentum was with United. They've been dominating the game all game long. They've, of course they now got the goal. They're going to have the confidence to go on and get another. And lucky for us, Cledios Carlos, the youngster who I brought on for Jefferson, he stepped up, and despite the fact, he doesn't score many goals, he doesn't get many appearances, it seems like when he plays, he's really important to the result. As you see, a block shot from Williams, loops up over, Carlos smashes it straight at the keeper. We'll have a look at it again, it smashes it straight at the keeper. Unfortunate for us, the power on it means the keeper can only direct it into his own goal. It's kind of fortunate, but it takes a bit of luck to win these games, and for us, luck seems to be on our side this season as we find ourselves in 4th. After that amazing win, I would expect us to beat Blackburn, even at Ewood Park, but no, we had to settle with a defeat in the end. Jefferson playing up front gave us a lead very early on, but it seems to happen a lot in FM13. They equalise quite quickly after we score, and in the 6th minute they got their equaliser, and the game was 1-1, pretty much starting again from scratch, starting from 0-0 from the 6th minute onward. And again, it was a pretty evenly fought game. Alright, Blackburn had more shots, a few more shots on target, but we had more of the possession, we had more of the ball. It was just sort of like, we seemed to, again, match each other, a bit like the Wolves game, a bit where a draw would have been a pretty good outcome, but again, I'd expect us to walk away with this result with a win. And maybe the fact that we were a bit fortunate, a bit lucky in the United game meant that, coming into the Blackburn game, luck wasn't going to be on our side this time, as they got their 81st minute goal of Rob Williams, and ended up walking away with all 3 points. And this is disappointing result as well, considering we've just beaten United, and with Arsenal coming up, we really needed to pick up at least a point here just to keep the momentum going. But it didn't seem to matter in the end, as we beat Arsenal 3-1. Andre Karamin returning to the squad from tiredness, and it seemed that break really revived him, as Stewart took gave Arsenal the lead very early on in the game. And from that point on, I'd expect Arsenal to probably run away with it. 5 minutes in, oh great, we've conceded to the team. We're battling to fourth. Of course, the squad is so much better. Well, not so much better than ours, but still better than ours. They've still got the ability in there just to, run wild once they've taken a lead early on. But for some reason, we managed to hold out. We managed to fortify. We managed to stay strong as they brought on onslaught of attack. And then in the second half, we got our chances and we took them. Joshua, I can't say that name. I'm not even going to try. Goal in the 76th minute just seemed to open up the floodgates for the Arsenal defence. And despite the fact we only had 3 shots all the game, despite the fact our 2 shots on target found the back of the net, we walked away with all 3 points. I see Alan Brooks to Benelli, who's out all wide from the centre of the pitch, whips this one in, and then of course trying to block Cass Peters. I don't think Cass Peters would have scored. I think Cass Peters would have scored that anyway. Trying to block it, end up heading it in his own net. Giving us 1-1, and then Karamin seems to come to life. He playing it back to Alfonso here. Plays it out wide to Alan Brooks. Karamin latches onto the ball and slots it home. 2-1. I'm thinking, yes, if we can hold out, we definitely won this game. And then of course the 85th minute goal comes, and this just makes it comfortable for us. This just shows that, luck is on our side in these big games as Karamin heads in a lovely cross from Bruno. And overall, an amazing result. Very fortunate in one eye, the fact that we've been dominating 2 games against United and Arsenal, but yet somehow managed to walk away with all 3 points both times. Yet in a game like Blackburn and Fulham and Hull, we've only walked away with a couple of points. We've definitely dropped some where I wouldn't expect us to, and picked up somewhere I would expect us to walk away with 0. So overall, it's been a pretty weird 10 games, and to wrap it all off, we beat Everton 4-2. This game has been rearranged for certain reasons, e.g. like Everton and cup games and things like that, and all that stuff compiled into this game, being played a bit later on than first scheduled. But we embarrassed them pretty much at our home. 4-2, pretty tough defeat to swallow for them, I'm guessing, considering really they would want to be beating us. They've done it in the past, and really just we played well today. We played a good game. Karamin doubled, Hamza Benelli picking up a rare goal, and Cass Peters, the game was pretty much over in the 53rd minute. We were 4-1 up in the end. The consolation goal made it look a little less embarrassing on Everton, and really a little bit more towards how the game actually played out. In a tight fought match, we managed to just take our chances. Well, like I say, these 10 games have been pretty weird. We've lost games, and like I say, we've dropped points where I wouldn't expect us to, yet walked away from United and the Emirates. Home with United, of course, and away at the Emirates. We've walked away with 6 points there. And those are games that going into the 10 games, I should say, actually, I didn't expect we had any chance of winning. So overall, very good 10 games. And hopefully these last 8 games we can pick up our points. So let's look at the fixtures. So Ipswich, I'd expect us to beat. Chelsea away from home, that's a tough game. But again, I think it's a game that we can pick up points from. I mean, we've proven in the past that we have the ability to beat Chelsea. Reading, this is a tough game. Reading are always a tough team for me personally. So I'd say a point there would be a good result. Swansea away from home. Again, another tough game, but I would like to say we'd walk away from all 3 points with that. Southampton, Stoke, and City. All 3 of them games there are, again, difficult games. There are teams that, they can cause a surprise to me. Southampton and Stoke, this is anyway. And then, especially City away, I think that's a no-hoper there. But I've got to look for positives, and I'd say, 3, we'll say 6, we'll say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14 points I'd expect to pick up from these last 8 games. Whether that be enough, I don't really know. I mean, only time will tell. Let's go to my guy, actually. Where can we finish? The lowest we can finish is 16th, and Tottenham already won the Capital One Cup, so ideally we want to be finishing 4th and getting Champions League football next season. But we're going to the awards and have a look at who's won these things. So, Goal of the Month, we already knew about that, but Karamin got 3rd for his goal against Norwich. We won't really look at that since it's 3rd and it's not exactly going to be amazing. Manager of the Month, we haven't got any in that since our previous one in November. Player of the Month, have we got any in that? Nope, sadly, still no one in there. I really want to win a Player of the Month soon. I mean, our team plays well enough now. Young player, that's wrong. That's the wrong thing to do. Young Player of the Month, Luis Alberto Shakura, Nicola Cressinger, 2 names that have popped up so often in recent times. And then Luis Alberto Shakura again. Wonder Kid, if he's not picking up Young Player of the Month more times than not, so he's clearly having bad games. So, what should we look at now? I don't really think it matters financially. We won't look at that right now. We'll have a look at the comparison of stats and facts and figures. I haven't done that in a while. Player stats. Karamin is up there with top goal scorers just behind Craig Hunter of Chelsea, so, you know, he's definitely stepped up in replacing Demyanenkov. In fact, he's probably doing a better job than it, because Demyanenkov seemed to, you know, go certain games without scoring, then he'll score a lot in quick succession, then won't score again. Karamin seems to score quite consistently, which is nice to see. Player of the matches, Andre Karamin's always top there, up with Anthony Bruno. Shots on target ratio, Cas Peters is clinical with his shots. What about clean sheets? Where does our keeper compare to that? Where is it? There it is. Fourth, you know, we seem to be up there now in stats and stuff, which is nice to see, but I think when you look at this stat, you'll understand why. Salary per annum. Oh, we're 12th. I actually thought it'd be higher than that. Wow, how much are people spending a month? You know, I thought we were spending a lot with 1.2 are we on currently? I think we're somewhere like that. 1.04 million per week. I thought we were spending near the highest. Wow, we're still 12th lowest wage bill in the league, but still compete with the likes of Arsenal. Look at Arsenal, the third highest wage bill in the league, and we compete with them. It's great stat to have, that is. Oh man, if this was a real life thing and I was a fan, you'd have to rub that in the faces. Average attendance, this would be a joke. Look at that. Oh no, actually, you know, we compete with Burnley. We're not actually far off the lowest average attendance. I thought we'd be quite low down. Actually didn't really, you know, think of it like that. How about by capacity? There we go, we're up there. I expected that. I'd expect it to be higher though, 96%. I'd expect pretty much a sellout every game, considering how small the stadium is. But what can you do? You can't really do anything. So this will be it for now, guys. I will meet you at the end of the season, where we'll go through finances, where we finish the league, of course. You know, we'll go over this screen in a bit more detail. We will player stats. We'll go through a few more player stats. We'll go through what should we go through else? No, we'll go through awards and all the normal stuff we go through, and anything else I think of. So, until then, guys, until next time, peace out.